and welcome to News Central Television. I am Likon Obanjo. The top stories at this hour. Security operatives arrest 20 suspects for allegedly hacking JAMB's computer-based test server. EFCC denies claims its chairman met with governors before their defection to the All Progressives Congress. Hundreds of Libyan protesters flood streets of Tripoli demanding resignation of Prime Minister Abdulhamid Dbeibah. Details to come your way shortly. Let's begin by telling you that security operatives have arrested 20 individuals for allegedly hacking the computer-based Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination conducted by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board in 2025. The arrests were carried out in Abuja by operatives from the Department of State Services and the Nigeria Police Force. Reports indicate that the suspects are part of a wider syndicate believed to be involved in over 100 people specializing in hacking the servers of examination bodies such as JAMB and the National Examinations Council. According to security sources, the suspects have confessed to deliberately sabotaging the computer-based testing system, allegedly to undermine JAMB's credibility and discourage the use of CBT in future examinations conducted by NECO and the West African Examinations Council. To discuss this, we're joined by an ICT specialist, Temitayo Agemo Okuboyejo. Thank you so much, Temitayo, for joining us on the news. Good evening.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. Okay, so looking at the timing of these arrests, do you believe the story of the security operatives arresting these suspects? Some people think it's just whipped up to save face.
So I would say we have to give the security agencies we have to give them a chance to do their jobs. And I do believe that with regards to hacking, certain forensic analysis can be done, which can determine if this was a true hack or if it was fabricated. So in my opinion, I think we have to kind of rest easy for the moment and let them present the evidence that they have against this suspect who allegedly hacked the JAMB server. So in the absence of that evidence having been presented and examined by maybe independent experts, it's hard to say that this is just a safe-facing exercise by the management of JAMB.
Okay, peradventure, the glitch did happen and their site was hacked. I'd like you to do maybe a word-out simulation of how these hackers might have been traced and apprehended.
Okay, so in general, usually when a hack happens or when a breach happens, you tend to hire people we call forensic experts, people who would come into your enterprise environment and perform analysis of, your entire enterprise. And usually this can be determined if the right people are employed to do the job. So with regards to how it happened, again, one hack is not, all hacks are not the same, let me put it that way. You simply just have to wait for the evidence to be presented. And that evidence can then be scrutinized and then say, well, this is true of what a hack can be or whether it's not. So you cannot simply say, yeah, this is how it would happen. You just have to let them present that evidence, as I said before.
Okay, so you said that all hacks are not the same, but then how easy is it to hack a website? And wouldn't you be expecting an institution like JAMB, maybe INEC, NECO, WAEC, and all that, to have some sort of, impenetrable firewalls?
Mm-hmm. So this is where our national cybersecurity strategy comes into play. And if you were to look at the documentation that the government or the federal government, so to say, have with regards to strategy, there must be regulations and compliance that all government departments must meet in order to be, shall I say, certified to be able to do their job. That's number one. So first things first, the government has a significant role to play with regards to how they monitor and ensure that government departments, and we're not just talking about JAMB or INEC or all those other institutions that you mentioned. We're talking about the Nigerian state as a whole. What's this hack? Well, this alleged hack. What it means that the entire Nigerian nation could be at a risk of a cyber attack by foreign actors, by nation states who are enemies of Nigeria, who can potentially hack any of our environment, well, any of our national environment. So if you think about, say, the Ministry of Defense, server being hacked, and intelligence, important intelligence are simply just put out there for the highest bidder. It means it put Nigeria at a very, very, very significant risk. So it's not just those institutions. We now need to identify how all government departments and parastatals, how they ensure that they comply to whatever the national strategy, the cyber strategy of our country as it is. We need to know what that is. Now, moving on to what you said about impenetrable firewalls. So, with regards to what we call breaches or hacks, there is no. You cannot. It's like saying that I am going to be 100% free from a risk of an attack. That's not. Nobody can promise that. Anybody who promises that is lying. Now, but what you can do is that you can ensure that you have the appropriate level of safeguards in place. What we don't know is if JAMB has such controls in place to ensure that the job of a hacker is made that much difficult that it's, you don't just wake up and think about hacking the server or hacking an institution like JAMB. So I don't know. I don't know, what kind of safeguards JAMB has in place, and I also do not know what kind of compliance measures that the government's cyber strategy department has put in place, which all government departments have to comply with, and what the consequences are for departments that do not comply. Do their heads of departments get punished somehow? Do they find new ways of ensuring that the appropriate protections are in place? All of these are still things that are hanging in the air that we can't answer, or we can't provide answers to. And until we can do that, it's even difficult to say that maybe the protection that JAMB had in place was adequate or not.
Okay, so we'll probably just wait for the forensic results to come out to have an understanding of what actually happened. But then, thank you so much, Temitayo Agemo Okupoijo, for sharing these insights with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Well, we will bring you more education-related stories in the course of the bulletin. But first, let's head to Akwa Ibom State, where Governor Umaeno has directed his commissioners and appointees to either defect with him to the All Progressives Congress or resign from his cabinet. The governor issued the directive during a state executive council meeting, confirming weeks of speculation about his defection. He emphasized that while his appointees are not obligated to join him in the APC, they cannot remain in office while belonging to another party. Eno has said his decision stems from internal crises within the PDP, which have made it difficult to guarantee a smooth electoral process. Despite his affection for the PDP, he stated that technical issues at the national level could cost the party electoral victories, even when popular support is assured. To discuss this, we're joined by our political analyst, Moses Idika. Mr. Idika, thank you so much for coming around.
Yeah, good evening, and thank you.
Defect with me or resign, I don't know, in a democratic setting, but then maybe he just wants the best for his people. Do you see anything wrong with his stance?
Well, as the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Governor Meno, there's nothing wrong with what he said because he has the power to hire and fire. He didn't say that to party officials. He didn't say that maybe PDP chairman Akwa Ibom State should defect him or any of the state working committee members of the party or any member of the PDP at the national level who is from Akwa Ibom State. He said that to his own appointees, his commissioners, his special assistants, and senior special assistants. He's right because he can't be the governor in APC and his appointees are in PDP. And like he said earlier, he said he doesn't have the power of Wike, who can be in PDP and work in APC government. But that said, I think that the governor himself is just playing to the gallery because we saw it in Delta State where the governor and his godfather, Ifeanyi Okowa, alongside his cabinet, left for the APC. But he's trying to divert attention from the fact that he's taking an unconstitutional step by abandoning the ship through which he became the governor of Akwa Ibom State to join the APC for his own personal gain. So that is what I think he's doing. He's diverting attention from the fact that he's defecting from the APC, from the PDP to the APC. And I think that the leadership of the PDP in Akwa Ibom State should immediately initiate a legal process against him if he eventually defects, like he said.
Now, we are going to talk about consequences for defection, but you said that he has the power to hire and fire. But on this case, it's not based on mediocrity. It's not based on incompetence. He's saying, I am moving, you need to move with me. But then we are in a democratic setting, and we are talking about freedom of association. How do we balance that?
Yeah, I think that it's now the ball, he passed the ball to his appointees. That if you're a commissioner in my government, if you're a special assistant in my government, or SSMG, or whatever position you have in my government that is appointed, you're appointed into that position. I'm saying you should defect with me. Of course, that does not infringe on the rights of those ones because our constitution guarantees the right of association for anyone. So any of the commissioners or any of the appointees can decide to resign his or her appointment instead of joining the governor in the APC.
Forced resignation. We are going to talk more about this, Moses. We need to quickly go on a break on the news. When we return, we'll pick it from that sports and look at other areas. Just stay with us. We'll be back. Many thanks for staying with us. We're still on the story of Umueno. Of course, the governor who has come out to tell his commissioners and appointees to either join him while they defect to the All Progressives Congress or they have the liberty to resign. And I've been talking to the political analyst, Moses Idika, and he has been sharing his thoughts with us. Now, Moses, you said these people at this crossroads have the opportunity to either join him or resign. But then it's been said that there should be drastic consequences for the campaign. Now, should elected officials be made to immediately lose their seats or privileges when they defect to other parties to prevent threats like this? Because you said that it's an unconstitutional steps. But then, democracy, we know what it gives. What do you think?
Recall that even Governor Meno is among the PDP governors that have approached the Supreme Court to interpret certain sections of the Constitution that affect defecting of politicians from the political party on which they were elected. And though I guess he might decide to withdraw from the suit, but we are looking forward to the Supreme Court's ruling on this defection because it is killing our democracy it is it's squeezing life out of it, whereby nobody is guided by any ideology or any belief in the system. It actually shows that a lot of Nigerian politicians are in public offices for personal interest and not even to serve. Because being a member of the PDP, he alleged that the PDP has a crisis at the national level. And I know that he's referring to what happened between Udokwe and Senator Anyanwu, which the Supreme Court already settled that Senator Anyanwu remains the chairman, the national secretary of the PDP. So I do not think there is any further crisis in the PDP. Besides, people like Governor Meno are the leaders of the party who are supposed to frankly talk to one another and bring peace to the opposition political party, PDP. So when you, it's like playing the ostrich. Your house is on fire and you are chasing after rats, because that is what they are all doing. APC is a political party on its own. They have their own crisis. APC has not been able to convene its NEC meeting. It has not put any date to its convention. It has not even, the leadership of APC at the national level has not been able to coordinate the party, to even abide by the constitution of the party, to call for a NEC meeting or National Working Committee meeting of the party intermittently as provided by their own constitution. So the APC that they are all running to is not even immune from implosion. So I think that going forward, by the time the Supreme Court decides on this, then we can know exactly how it's going to play out. But also, I think that, you know, the presidency of Bola Tinubu is somewhat jittery. So they are going around southern Nigeria to make sure that all the governors in southern Nigeria become APC governors. Just yesterday, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation issued a statement through his aide denying that the FCC actually met the Delta State governor before 48 hours before him and Ifeanyi Oko were defected. So when you look at these dynamics, you definitely, what is going on is unconstitutional. But we now look forward and look up to the Supreme Court to take a decisive decision on the spate of defections among politicians in Nigeria.
Pending when that happens, the other side of these, talk or this defection is that they say that the All Progressives Congress is actually performing creditably in power, and this administration has actually done quite well with its different measures and interventions and its policies. Do you think that's a tenable excuse or reason why you think these people might just be defecting?
Although Governor Eno says that he is a pastor, but we all know even himself understand that he's lying to himself, because the current federal government of Nigeria is what I call government of statistics, and the statistics they don't add up in real terms. We don't see it in the living standard of Nigerians. More Nigerians have, been thrown into abject poverty than they were some 5 years ago. A lot of industries in Nigeria have shut down. The purchasing power is squeezed. Very few Nigerian families can actually feed themselves now, aside from those in various aspects of the government, maybe at state or federal level. So when any of these defecting politicians come to tell you that Tinubu is doing well, you begin to wonder what world they are living in, because our roads remain dead traps. The airports are not even nothing to write home about. Food prices are at the highest level. The naira is still hovering around between 1,600 to 2,000 naira to $1. And when you put all these indices together, you find out that anybody telling you that the government is doing well is just amusing themselves. There is no such thing. Every Nigerian today, including those in power, understand that Nigeria is in serious economic crisis. So the governor is lying to himself, and it's unfortunate.
So basically what you're saying is that these decampments has to do with what benefits the political class and not necessarily Nigerians. All right, Moses Idika, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the news. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Away from that, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has denied claims that its chairman, Ola Olukoyede, met with governors before their defection to the All Progressives Congress. The denial follows allegations by Paul Ibe, spokesperson for former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who has said Olukoyede and the Solicitor General met with a serving and former South-South governor 48 hours before their defection. Reacting in a statement, EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale dismissed the claim as baseless, saying Olukoyede is apolitical and the allegation is fabricated and in bad taste. Oyewale urged the public to disregard the report, reaffirming that the EFCC remains neutral and free of partisan interests. Meanwhile, Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborewori and his predecessor Ifeanyi Okowa recently defected to the APC alongside the Akwa Ibom governor. Residents of Uromi, located in the Esan Northeast local government area of Edo State, have described reports claiming that 16 persons of Northern Extraction gruesomely murdered in the town by a mob are travelers and hunters as fake news and misinformation. They say the victims are alleged kidnappers responsible for the spate of kidnapping being experienced in the town. Amadine Uye visited Uromi and tells us more.
It was a visit to Uromi located in Esan Northeast local government area of Edo State to uncover the true events that transpired leading to the gruesome murder of 16 Nigerians of Northern Extraction, labeled as kidnappers by residents of the town. This is the scene where the unfortunate incident happened, where over a dozen suspected kidnappers were apprehended by vigilante, and following an argument, they were gruesomely murdered. Now we have tried to get to the root of the matter to know what exactly transpired on that said day. We have spoken to several who say everything culminated from the insecurity situation they are experiencing on this abandoned federal highway.
This is farming season and hardly you can see a woman or a man going to farm because of these killings and kidnapping. So in this place, we are living on the mention of God every blessed day because of the kidnapping.
Samuel Inedia, who was recently released by kidnappers after being kidnapped for the second time, says that the kidnappers terrorizing the town are of Northern Extraction and dismissed claims that they were hunters.
They are Fulanis, sir. They are Fulanis. They are Fulanis. They didn't cover their face. So, the Fulanis, if they are speaking language, then you must know. And if you see them for face, you know them quite. They are Fulanis, sir. They collected 15 million naira from me. And I bought some things, about 600 something thousand again. I buy ice, buy, what did they call them again that day? Colos. Buy food, half bag of beans, half bag of rice. I bought a plate of, 8 plate of fried rice from Homies. They said I should add three laps of chicken, which I did before they released me.
Also, the patron of the Esan Youth Awareness, a local anti-kidnapping vigilante group, throws his weight behind the claims by many residents of the town, saying that the alleged kidnappers were to blame for their ordeal. While he condemns their gruesome murder by a mob, he, however, insists reports claiming that they were hunters traveling from Port Harcourt to Kano is fake news and misinformation.
They were with guns, not the tradition, not the AK-47 type of gun. They were with their kind of gun. This that's what we call day gun here, but they are Hausa type, because their own day gun is actually different from our own day gun here. So they even confirmed it that they were actually carrying someone that the thing belongs to them. If, for example, they were carrying money individually, you can say this man is carrying 30,000, the other man is carrying 50,000. That is what we can realize in hunting in our bush here. Not even in a day, because where are the animals? Where is the bush here now to hunt?
The state government has set up a committee to investigate the incidents so as to get more clarity on the entire episode. Far away in Kano, the families of the victims are demanding compensation and the arrest of those responsible for their murder. In Uromi for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
Now, News Central's Abuja Bureau Chief Amadine Uyi joins me for more on this. Amadine, thank you so much for joining us. Now, after aggregating the details of these people that you spoke with, what is focal in terms of information that you've been able to gather?
Now, Lekon, having visited the community, first of all, is established that the incidents arose from a build-up of animosity over several weeks, several months, because the insecurity situation has reached a crescendo. It's reached a situation where it's become worrisome. And because of the level of kidnappings, that particular area, people have already fled. It's been very, very difficult. So these were the things that led to the build-up of the incidents. Nobody supported the murder of those victims, but residents of the community are insisting, because where they were apprehended, where the truck was coming from, it was an abandoned place. Where they were apprehended was just like the epicenter of where kidnapping occurs in the town. So it's really, really a very sad situation.
Without having to discredit what one of the residents said, he said that they are Fulanis. That might not be enough to actually determine if someone is either a kidnapper or a hunter or someone who has ulterior motives moving around that area. But then I would ask the question, would kidnappers, so to speak, brazenly move within a community, knowing fully well that they could be cited?
Now, if you have to understand exactly what transpired. That particular place where they were apprehended, that particular stretch of road, like I said, is the epicenter of kidnapping in Uromi. It's called the Ilushi to Ewu Road. It used to be an old federal highway, but it's been abandoned, it's dilapidated, and there are houses around there. So what happens is that most of the people there have fled. You don't go to that area except you are with some form of security. And so according to what the residents said, they said they saw the truck. The truck had parked there for like 2 days, pretending that it was broken down. And one thing that stood out was that those kind of trucks are not seen at that stretch of road. It's an abandoned road. You hardly see even vehicles. The only trucks you see there are those going to pick up sand from a sand pit somewhere at a river close to that place. Apart from those sand pit trucks, you don't see normal vehicles, you don't see normal motorbikes. And so when they saw the truck, a Dangote truck coming out from there, there was already suspicion. And then they said that they had gotten information that they saw people boarding the truck from one of the locations, which is like also another hotspot. So the vigilante were actually waiting for the truck at that particular juncture. And what they said, eyewitnesses that I spoke to who refused to speak on camera, they said that when the truck was stopped, that first of all, the driver and there are two drivers in the truck. They were first arrested and taken to the police. And they were informed that under the tarpaulin, people were hiding under the tarpaulin. So the truck was surrounded. There was already a mob surrounding it. And then they told the people in the tarpaulin, okay, the truck has already been caught, start coming out. It was as one of them was coming out who stabbed one of the vigilante members. All hell broke loose. And from there was no form of control. That was what led to the gruesome murder of those victims by the mob.
All right, so to wrap things up now, you talked about investigation. Just in 30 seconds, you talked about investigation. Has that been concluded by the security operatives?
No, what the state governor did was that when it first happened, He didn't want a reprisal attack, so he had to travel to Kano. He went to try to douse the tension, met the governor, met families of the victims. Then he went back. About 2 weeks ago, the state governor set up a committee to investigate what exactly happened, if those people were actually kidnappers, as was posited by the people in the community.
Okay.
So everybody is waiting for the outcome of that investigation.
All right, thank you so much, Amadine Uyi, for sharing these updates with us. We talk aviation now. A training aircraft at the International Aviation College in Ilorin has crash-landed at a runway 5 of the Babatunde Diagbon International Airport, injuring 2 people. The aircraft, carrying a trainee and an instructor, veered off the runway and stopped on the grass verge during a practical session on Friday evening. Both occupants sustained serious injuries and have been rushed to the hospital for treatment. No fatalities have been recorded in the incident. The Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau has launched an investigation. According to the Bureau's Director of Public Affairs and Family Assistance, Bimbo Oladiji, a team has been deployed from Abuja to Ilorin to carry out on-site investigations. However, authorities have not released further details on the condition of the injured or the cause of the crash. To the energy sector now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has announced the planned shutdown of the Port Harcourt Refining Company for maintenance commencing on May 24, 2025. In a statement issued on Saturday, NNPC's Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Femi Shoneye, said the shutdown is part of a broader maintenance and sustainability assessment aimed at enhancing the refinery's efficiency and long-term performance. NNPC Limited assured the public of a smooth and transparent process, adding that it is working closely with stakeholders, including the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The company also reaffirmed its commitment to energy security and pledged to provide regular updates through its website, media platforms, and official channels as the maintenance work progresses. Away from that, the Nigeria Police Force has disbursed about 2 billion naira in insurance benefits to 1,235 families of its fallen officers to help cushion the effect of the financial hardship they face. According to the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, the disbursement marks the third payout under the current administration, bringing the total sum to over 22 billion naira. While acknowledging that no amount of money can replace the loss of their loved ones, the IGP reaffirmed the commitment of the police to supporting the families left behind by their officers.
Today's disbursement marks the 10th phase in this continuous effort, with a total amount in excess of 2 billion naira being paid to beneficiaries of the 2018-2019, 2021-2022, 2022-2023, and 2023-2024 insurance policies. Since assuming office, this administration has disbursed 22,978,602,488 naira 25 kobo to 8,311 beneficiaries of our deceased officers.
And now to more education stories. The Association of Bursars of Nigerian Universities has called for an alternate, sustainable and mixed funding model for Nigerian universities. This was as members of the association called from universities across the country converged on Abuja for a public lecture and the official launch of the University Exchequer, a magazine dedicated to promoting transparency, accountability, and efficiency in the financial administration of universities in the country.
The lecture is about finding new ways of sustaining our tertiary institution and our universities. That's why I said about adopting a paradigm shift. That is, how do we sustain our university, knowing fully well that government funding is thinning out, while population of those seeking access to education is expanding on a daily basis.
Education needs to be funded, but government cannot do it alone. Let's look elsewhere. And the major strength of the university, the strength they have is land. They have land, that's their strength. And that land can be poured to farming, and a lot of agricultural products that will be brought into the market.
Coming up on the news, hundreds of demonstrators flood streets of Tripoli, demanding the resignation of Libya's UN-recognized government of national unity. We'll bring you details of this story and others in a short while. Do stay with us. More than 200 miners who were trapped underground at the Sibanye-Stillwater gold mine west of Johannesburg have been successfully rescued. The miners were stuck for over 24 hours. On Friday, management at Sibanye confirmed that all workers at the Kloof shaft near Westonaria have been accounted for and are safe. News Central's Bongani Siziba has more.
For more than 24 hours, a lifetime compressed into a terrifying moment as these miners were trapped deep within the earth belly, desperate and struggling for survival. Now, a triumphant emergence, these men and countless others braved the fear of the unknown.
We were all shocked, in fact, wondering if we'll come out or not. So even now, I'm still asking myself, is me who are out now? Because the problem is that we were afraid that we are going to die.
Ndiziva ndijabulile because akuna muntu ulimele noma kuhlele isikhathi eside akuna muntu ulimele akuna muntu ushonile. So I'm feeling very happy because sonke siphephile.
Outside, they were met with anxious and anticipation, family members, friends who have been pounding, prayers and tears, maelstrom of uncertainty.
Akho mnandi akho ndawo engekho buhlungu ndiphethwe sisisu kungokuba umntanam uphi akatyanga from yesterday ngo5 o'clock till now abusesemgodini.
Khange sihlale kusesihleli xa sivuye kuthiwa abasebenzi abaphumanga emgodini. Sivuya kakhulu ngendlela emangalisayo nje andazi ningathini nje.
The Association of Mine Workers and Construction Union says the mine management should adhere to mine safety.
What we have experienced here is that the substandard, if the secondary escape route was not substandard, they could have used that one to take employees out. Now it shows that there is a substandard of the secondary escape route.
Many of them say they are happy that they are out and they are now going back to their homes to meet their families. At the Stillwater's Sibanye gold mine, West Johannesburg, for News Central, Bongani Siziba.
In North Africa, for the second consecutive Friday, hundreds of demonstrators flooded the streets of Tripoli, demanding the resignation of Libya's UN-recognized government of national unity. The protests, driven by growing public frustration, are aimed squarely at Prime Minister Abdelhamid Beiba and his administration. Citizens cite deepening political gridlock, deteriorating security, and worsening living conditions as reasons for their unrest.
الشعب الليبي يقرر في مصيره في هذا المكان وقال كلمته لا لحكومات جديدة ولا لكيانات سياسية جديدة تضعف الدولة الليبية. نب انتخابات المجلس الرئاسي أمام الآن موقف تاريخي لينقذ ليبيا.
اليوم نشوف التظاهر السلمي داخل الميدان الحقيقة شيء إيجابي وشيء مفرح، نطالبوا فيه بإسقاط الحكومة وأن نشوفوا حكومة أخرى ممكن تسعى في بناء الوطن، ونتمنوا اختفاء الأجسام الأخرى واختفاء الأجسام اللي هي
From other continents, we tell you that Pope Leo XIV has delivered his first address to the Roman Curia, calling on church officials to embrace his vision of bridge building and open dialogue. Speaking with a tone of gratitude and unity, the new pontiff acknowledged the enduring role of the Curia in the life of the Catholic Church, remarking, and I quote, "Popes come and go, the Curia remains," end of quote. The meeting marked a noticeable shift in tone following what was often a strained relationship between the Curia and the late Pope Francis. Pope Leo used the occasion to thank the Church's governing body for its steadfast service and expressed hope for a more collaborative path forward. His message signals the prospect of a more harmonious relationship with Vatican officials in the years to come. In sports, the Alake of Edaland, Oba Adedotun Badebo, has praised the ongoing National Sports Festival in Ogun State during comparisons to the 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony. Speaking at the event, the monarch highlighted the festival's potential economic boost, citing the presence of over 20,000 athletes and thousands of spectators. He expressed pride in the state's hosting capabilities and urged young athletes to embrace teamwork and strive for excellence. Reflecting on his role during the 2006 edition, also held in Ogun State, he expressed optimism that the festival would foster national unity and prepare Nigerian athletes for top-level global competitions.
We did the same thing 19 years ago, and I was here. So this is the second time we'll be hosting the whole of Nigeria. But this time around, the celebration is really very proud.
Clinton Okwute stole the spotlight at the 22nd National Sports Festival in Ogun State by breaking 3 swimming records he previously held, representing Team Delta. Okwute clocked 2.106 in the 200-meter butterfly, bettering his own mark. He followed up with a record-breaking 400-meter freestyle by 4:14.27 and set another benchmark in the 200-meter individual medley with a time of 2.14.27 with 6 gold and 1 silver medal to his name. Okwete's record-smashing performances are fueling Delta's push to retain their national crown. Elsewhere, Team Delta's female footballers booked a semi-final spot with a 2-1 win over Team Lagos, while the female Abula team also advanced after beating Team Oyo in straight sets to enter the medal round. And that's all at this hour. But before we go, we'll look at our top stories again. Security operatives have arrested 20 suspects for allegedly hacking JAMB's computer-based test server. EFCC has denied claims its chairman met with governors before their defection to the All Progressives Congress. We also told you that hundreds of Libyan protesters flood streets of Tripoli demanding resignation of Prime Minister Abdelhamid Biba. Don't forget that you can send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. While you do that, follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. Watch us live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, StarTimes channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Likon Onobanjo.